Time now for sports, and the man with all the updates is George Addo Jr.
And it's World Cup qualifying time to talk about.
So how is this shaping up? I mean,
well, the biggest story there is Italy. Italy is the biggest story now. Italy failing to make it to the World Cup after 60 years. And
that's serious. That's a serious record.
Well, people want to call it serious. Italy have won the World Cup 4 times. Germany have won 4 times. Brazil have won it 5 times. So Egypt is a big, a powerhouse, a big country when it comes to the World Cup. That's okay. But we need to do the analysis of what really happened to Italy, and so that people don't get it wrong.
Okay.
Italy started in a group in Europe, in the UEFA qualifying, which had Spain. So it shouldn't be too much of a surprise if Italy finished second in the group when Spain were first.
Okay.
So then Italy had to go and play or be part of the playoffs, and they came up against Sweden. It's in this critical game that they failed to show what they're made up of.
Yeah.
And so you might want to take it, you might want to do the analysis and say this is probably an island of a sort, comparing what has happened. But the team has gone some transformation.
Okay.
Now, you take this man, Antonio Conte, the coach of Chelsea. He was the man in charge of this team. And the players we see today, the Parolos, the Bonucci's, the Ciro Immobiles, the Insigne, all the players we see today were players who did well under Antonio Conte.
Okay.
And some have said that, well, he wasn't able to win anything with the Italian national team. So maybe if you're doing the analysis, you have to get in there. Italy is a great team. When they go to the Euros, they expect to be in the final. When they go to the World Cup, they expect to be in the final or expect to win it. Critically, Antonio Conte had a team that worked well. We saw them in the Euros. They played so well against Spain. They beat Spain, and then they lost to Germany, and they went out. Now, they have a new coach in Ventura. Ventura came in, and already even at club level, he's always stepped in the shoes of Antonio Conte when he has moved from maybe one club to another. Okay. So maybe if Chelsea fans are looking at it, if Conte moves from Chelsea, maybe he might come in, yes. So he stepped in at Bari some time ago in the Italian Serie A, where Conte had worked before. And he stepped in the senior national team. Then he tried to move away from the Antonio Conte template.
Okay.
Then Italy were playing the 3-5-2 formation comfortably, or they played their 3-4-3, which Conte is an expert at. And it was easy for Conte to use them to play that, because if you realize in Juventus, that's what they were doing, pretty much 3-4-3. So they had the fluency and were playing, and it was all good for them. Ventura came in and tried to change a few things, and it looked like the changing was not too good for the team itself. Then when he tried to settle, it looked like it was just too late for Italy to come through this. So no doubt the Italian absence in the World Cup is going to be a big one.
It's a huge talking point.
It's a huge talking point, obviously. But are we going to miss any stars? No, there's Ronaldo in the World Cup. There's Messi in the World Cup. Who else do you want to see at the World Cup?
Okay, but which are the big teams that are not going to be in the World Cup?
I mean, big teams not going to be at the World Cup. I don't want to
besides Ghana.
Well, the biggest probably is Italy. Italy missing out, is a key thing. I thought there was a swell for Wales to come into play, and this is not a big team, but because of Gareth Bale, they also missed out. There's 1 or 2 names going out, but I think we have a full house in terms of the names that make the World Cup. Apart from Italy, we've got quite a lot going in there. We talked about a possible no Ronaldo World Cup or no Messi World Cup. We crossed all of that. And even if you're doing the analysis of the Argentine qualification and the Italian qualification, you say, but for Argentina qualifying, Italy had a fantastic run somehow, because out of 10 games they won 7, even though they had some poor performances against the likes of Macedonia. So how do we call this? The Italian national team has also performed very well when the Italian Serie A is doing so great in terms of Champions League and all.
But that's natural, because the Italian Serie A produces the Italian national team.
Almost. Basically.
So
you think about the great players, the Tonys, you think about all these great players who have come from Italy.
The Angel. What's the Angel's name?
Pirlo. All these great players had come from a system.
Exactly.
And what has been happening with the Italian Serie A? The Italian Serie A in the last 3-4 years has been on a slide. So obviously, you don't have so many players. You don't have attractive talents just there to go and pick. Now you have to put them together and try to get a team. So it's an Italian team who was trying to qualify using collective talent. They needed to play as a team. They really didn't have stars, as it were. I wouldn't say Immobile. Yeah, that would stand out. Maybe the only star name, but even that was an old guard, in Gianluigi Buffon. I'll be coming to him shortly. The legends who are going to miss the World Cup. I mean, I'll come to Gianluigi Buffon in a bit. But you look at the back line, the Chiellinis, the Bazzaglis, the Bonucci's. They've been there for some time. So anytime a country fails to deal with the transition, then the country is not able to qualify. So you look at Ghana, where are we? And we have a little template in Africa. After going to the World Cup 3 times, you are not able to get to it. It's only Cameroon. They were able to go in 1990, 94, 98, and 2002. And after that, they went to sleep. In the Ghana situation, what? After 3 World Cups, you had 12 years. Your players are changing. And you need to manage the transition very well. If you fail to manage the transition very well, you have an issue. Ivory Coast is another case study.
And the interesting thing is that we have basically the same templates from 2006 to
That is why, so when you are beginning to change it, when you are beginning to fuse the old wine and the new wine, and you don't do it well, you don't have a clever manager, then you're going to run into problems.
Is it a matter of lack of talent?
It's not necessarily a matter of lack of talent. I mean, generally in football, we love to see some great players. We're not really seeing the match here. But I think that now we need managers who can try and harness the best from all the players that you've got at your disposal. So the Italian team, yes, we're hoping to qualify on collective basis. But if we wanted to qualify on collective basis, there were teams that were playing more collectively than they were, like the Swedes. They were playing collectively. They don't have any star names. So it's a big disappointment for Italy. I mean, no doubt that Italy could not make the World Cup. It's a big disappointment. Then I moved the argument to Gianluigi Buffon, who is the goalkeeper.
Who cried at the end of
But he will cry, obviously. I mean, with respect to the World Cup, he shouldn't be too sad because he's won it before. But he wanted to exit the Italian national team on a very good note. And you couldn't have done it at a better place than the World Cup. And that's why Gianluigi Buffon is so sad that he couldn't make it. Remember, it only adds to his woes because he lost the final to Real Madrid, the Champions League final. I was there to watch him. He lost to Madrid there in the Juventus team by 4-1. So it's a great legend, not being able to end the way he wants to, but he will take it that way.
But I think it's also down to efforts that his team should have made.
You can blame them.
Exactly.
The talent is not available. Can they play as a collective team? No, they've not been quite collective or so tight as a group as the others have. So Italy, you say, deserve to be out of it. How about Sweden? There's a developing story at Sweden. You know, Ibrahimovic, Zlatan Ibrahimovic left this team. He had retired from international football.
Yeah.
But immediately the team qualified, he tweeted and says, "We are Sweden," and use Z for the S. Use Z instead of the S. It's a statement. So when he says that we are Sweden, you know that Zlatan Ibrahimovic starts with what is he saying to the people?
And that's Buffon.
That's Buffon there for you. I mean, don't worry, everything's in Italian. Crying after. What is Zlatan Ibrahimovic saying to you then if he used "we are Sweden" and he used Z?
So we are Sweden.
We are Sweden and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He wants to come back and play. It's as simple as that. If you were the coach of Sweden, after Zlatan Ibrahimovic staying out and managing to qualify on your own, and you've got into the World Cup, you need star strikers to come in and do that.
Forget about him.
You forget about him?
Forget about him.
You don't have any striker in that.
Do you know why I'd forget about him?
Why?
Because I'd rather pick a good attitude, somebody that I can use.
There is no record.
No,
I mean, to be fair, there's no record that he was like recalcitrant. He was a stubborn guy.
No, but we know who Zlatan Ibrahimovic is.
He's ego.
Full of himself.
And
exactly.
that's it. And
Let me give you an example of the France team in 2006.
Okay.
The France team in 2006 had every player they needed.
Yes.
They went out without scoring a single goal.
Yes.
Why? Because in the camp it was a problem. The same thing happened in 2010 when we had France players almost muting us in the camp.
Yeah. But
you get what I'm saying?
But this is a Swede team that hasn't got a good striker. And it's Zlatan Ibrahimovic is playing for Manchester United.
They made it this far, winning against Italy. I mean, let's face it. What was Sweden going to do in the World Cup anyway? And even with Zlatan. What do you think their target will be winning the World Cup?
No, but their target is go in and do what you can do.
Exactly.
And you have a big striker like Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
If that is your target, to go in and do what you can do, you can do it without Zlatan.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic has said that Sweden is Sweden and he's looking forward to playing. I would not be surprised if Zlatan Ibrahimovic gets into the squad and gets to play for it.
I would be surprised at the coach. It will mean the coach doesn't have the strength of character to look at Zlatan in the face. There was a time that Ghana looked at Sule Muntari in the face and said, no,
there was a time when Dede Ayew retired and Mahama got him to come and play back. So the president can speak to Zlatan Ibrahimovic to come and play back because you need the talent. He's still a Swede.
George.
Okay, so it's Italy out of the World Cup and so many stories to feast on, really. And we look forward to all of that. There are two friendlies to look forward to tonight. There's England up against Brazil and there's Nigeria up against Argentina. That's your sport then.
Thank you very much, George Addo Jr. for joining us. And this has been News Desk. I am Daniel Daje. Thanks for watching.